Hi everyone, welcome to Spring Boot Enterprise Application. My name is Van Nguyen. Today I'm going to show you my high-profile application of Spring Boot with microservice, microfrontend, service registry, and a Spring Boot security. So I have implemented with my partner, and we're using a GitHub. And let's go over the requirement of this application. The Spring Eureka Server to register microservices and implement REST API microservice. That is both functionality API such as a CRUD API for JPA backend database. Also implement with front end, so we try to use Spring Boot security MVC with time leaf so that we can learn or utilize the knowledge that we learn instead of using React. And this project asks to develop a hotel staff management application, so to use by a hotel chain management for Waterbnb hotel chain, and this the requirement for database such as the staff table and the hotel table with the constraints such as a hotel ID has to be in the pattern, and the staff ID auto generated, and using the database hotel DB. So I have my application database running on MySQL, and this is just the requirement of a hotel database running. And I also have the user for my Spring Boot application. So first, I have a application is running on three applications running on my end, and the Eureka Server is have a two application. That's one in microservice, and another is manager client is running. So this is kind of the the response from the POC 3002 of the backend, and this is my postman testing. So I have using a validation not just for the client but also for the backend. So if I remove this one, so you see that this is a validation fail for classes. So how does this happen? So in my service backend hotel staff, I have the requirement not blank, and in the manager controller for creating staff, so it's just a post method. I validate to see if it's a staff is matching or not. So because staff doesn't have a correct name, so it cannot pass through my microservice. Similarly, like for hotel, using we use add valid or binding result. If it's error, is return the error. So that's for a staff, and if it has a valid staff name, we can the server responded with the 200 and also return the staff. And this staff here doesn't have any hotel. And also we have the API to list the staff. This staff is not sorted by a department, and another API to sort the staff listed by a department such as reception go first, and then cleaning, and then management, and last one is restaurant. So in order to achieve this feature, first of all I use bubble sort, but I think it costs too much, and my friend suggests using SQL, and in our backend database for the staff repository we modify the query, so it makes sure that all the staff sorted by department instead of I was writing bubble sorting staff, and it's too much than just one line of code for the repository. And we can then we can render this list of staff sorted by department, and then another API is just a list of staff, so that we can do management for staff on the front end, and also we can delete the staff, so there are a new staff. So this is using the delete method, delete request, and this is the post request. We can assign hotel to staff, or we can remove it. So this is the put to remove hotel to staff. I just want to check. I can remove hotel to staff, and then now we can check the staff ID number 2 to see if they have any hotel or not. If they doesn't have hotel, if the staff doesn't have hotel, we can assign the hotel to staff. But because this assignment, it also asks the important thing, so I implemented the logic for this in my backend. So staff with 3 star can only assign to hotel 3 star or lower, and the staff with 4 star or higher can work with the hotel of 4 star or more. So go to my API. So let's try if I get this one success or not. So hotel. So let's see the staff requirement is the hotel number 2. Hotel number 2. So the staff ID is 2, and the star rating is number 3. So it matches, so it's success. But if try to work with another cases as a staff hotel, the hotel with 4 star, and to see if it's work or not. So we have list of hotel. Let's choose 4 star, like this ID with the 4 star for the hotel, and then we go to staff, and then we go to remove hotel to staff and assign it, and then we add hotel with the 4 star or higher, and then it will get the error. It say that performance mismatch. So in my logic, before performing the assigning the hotel to the staff. So in the backend, before assigning hotel to the staff, I have the logic to check for the staff performance have to match with the staff with the hotel performance. Otherwise, it would cause like an error, like in the runtime exception. So that's why you see it right now. Runtime is not match. So in order, so it have to match the one with the performance, otherwise cause an error. And also because we work in the group, so whatever I do, we document the logic or anything in the README, so that my partner, they can follow any logic or any features that is complicated. And we can change staff rating, because it's also for this requirement, the staff with the 3 star can only work with the hotel 3 star. So if I change the staff with increasing performance to 4 star, so I will have to unassign the hotel to the staff. So let's do it with staff number 2, and I change the performance from 3 to 5. Right now you see that it has the hotel and the performance rating in number 3, and now I'm going to change the rating of the staff to a performance number 5, and this is return the required hotel change update. It returns the true, but it also with the response 200. Okay, this means that the status, the performance of the staff with the ID number 2 is already updated, but we render it in the client so that the client can use this information to notify the manager to update the hotel to the staff. And now if I go back to the list staff ID number 2, I won't see the hotel, because staff number 2, the performance rating right now is 5, is no longer 3. So the hotel is removed from the staff. So it's for change staff rating, and also this for listing of the hotel. So I have a put method, the post method, the delete method, everything we need for good API for this application. And I also implement the high rate hotel to return the hotel with 4 star or more, and the low rate hotel also return the list of hotel with 3 star or lower. Even though I do that, my partner or teammate, she has another technique to do that in front end. And now that's all the service API in backend. And now we go to with the before we are going to the client. So this application is time consuming in setting up application. So we use GitHub so that I can set up the project properly, and then I can set up the security and Eureka Server, and then I continue to develop feature on the back end, and then we implement the feature on the front end. So many people has reached out to me because they have the problem. They they may use a ChatGPT or AI, they copy and paste, but they don't follow the right technique, the best practice to implement the application, so that the application not running properly, and they keep asking me how to debug it. So even though we have the professor example for Eureka Server, I think if you just install the artifact or the plugin such as like Eureka Server, so one thing you have to check the version, is that the version can running on your server, or for your Spring Boot or not. If not, you may have to downgrade it. Another thing is Spring Cloud version in here, so we have to add the Spring Cloud version in here beside your Java JDK. And this is the server, this is the Eureka Server. And also in my Eureka Server, I started with the port. And one more thing is important in application properties. So we have to set these things in order, order service or server can communicate or log anything. This for Eureka Server, and this for Microservices. So in order to work with my partner, so we both have to change, our MySQL password to the correct one, so that both of us doesn't have to go back and forth change the file. But one more thing, like for Eureka Connect, we have to add this one, and we say the service registry, this the server, and I have my database running in here. One more thing for service registry, in my client, I use global variable API route, and I use the init method, so that I can get the API route from the service, from the microservice using the discovery client, and I can assign it to my global API route, and I can use it for all the requests, such as posts or any API, so that I don't have to, write the API, instance of the discovery client all the time. And in order for the Spring Boot security, it's very important one. So for my Spring Boot security, I have a web security, and we have permitted both layer. Or for the first one is for the home page, and another one is for setting up the user, and also we also have the login page, so that user can go to the login page, and in order to get the style, the JavaScript, or anything that my partner added this one. And because we use Spring Boot security with the decrypt, like encode the password, so in my user detail I implemented the user detail so that I can get the username, and then we set role. It's very important, like in here we say that request has the authority, has authority, so that I can using this. So it's very important, you have to distinguish with the difference between has role and has authority. And so in my MySQL, at first I didn't know, I just say that, we just use the role as the admin or staff right here, but it doesn't cost. So when I go back to read the document, so I have to change has role to has authority, so that I can use it without the prefix, without the prefix role in the get role. And for professor example, he also using rented authority with the authorities. Many people, many classmates reach out to me, they use this code and they don't know why it doesn't work. Why? Because this is the set. You have to know the difference between the set, the list, and this one. So for my end, because it's one user, we just have one authority. So for my user detail, I just rented authority. It's just one authority. It's just not like the list or the set, and one more thing, very I think like a big, in order to do that I had to set up the user. So we have the user file with the as the login for this controller, and we reuse the login bin, and for the login template, where's the login template? Oh, in the resource. So the login template, so it will return the error if anything wrong, if password or username does not match. In order to get this running, first of all, because I cannot create the encrypted password in my MySQL, I have to use like Spring Boot application. So we have we set up the controller like creating user, such as a setup user, so that I can create the username and the password with the plain password right here, and then it will be encrypted like using the bcrypt. That's why in here you see that the password is encrypted, while the front end the password is a plain. When we using a password encoder, you use that. So I can go back to my MySQL and delete the user, and then using the route controller to add it again. So right now say that your record already deleted. So I have my so when I go back to here, I can go to the route setup user, so that I can add user, and then when the user added to MySQL using JPA successfully, it rendered the message like default user has successfully created. And in my MySQL, I can use it to check if the new and as you see there, two user role, one is admin and another one is staff, and admin has the role and staff has the staff role. So now I log in here. So if I use if I using the wrong password, so it doesn't it say that the wrong password, because Spring Boot security also check the password is correct or not behind the scene. So I don't write in my in my controller in here, you don't see that I have the post method for login, because it handle behind the scene when we use Spring Boot security. And one more thing is very important, because we have a login, right? So we cannot go to any page such as admin staff number 2, because we don't have a valid authentication. So now I'm going to log in with the admin, and then I can go to admin dashboard. Something wrong, later. I don't know why it's redirected to there. So sign, yeah, I think maybe because of catches or something. So I sign in, it goes to the main page, and then this also had a list of the hotel and the list of the staff sorted it by a department. And what happened if I log in, with the one just set the staff in here, just using staff one, and then the password, even though it has the correct password and it has the same browse, same path, but in here it say that because you are the staff, you're not authenticated, please contact the admin. And on the admin page, on the same browse, same page, we can see that the list of hotel and the list of the staff, and we also have the sign out at the bottom. Similarly, we also have the sign out. And how does that happen? I think it's like because when we use Spring Boot security in the home page, after we got in, we can Spring Boot security with the time leave, so we can check for the has authority or staff. If it just has authority like staff, it just show this one. Otherwise, it has authority like admin. It will show the list of the hotel and the list of the staff. And even though the staff, right, they know that, or they see admin feature like such as admin staff hotel number 2, and then they try to reach it, they will not bypass it because this doesn't have the authority to go to the staff. Oh, I think it's because I'm using the wrong one. Yeah, doesn't have, so it's forbidden. So if the admin, right, can go to staff pages like this and continue with the feature. Yeah, I haven't missed anything. So the list of the staff with the sorted by a department like reception, cleaning, management, and restaurant correctly. And on front end, they ask we have to use they call binding resource validation with annotation. I already covered it in previous video. In here say that must not be blank, so I have to add a staff name like a new staff. And then alright, I'm going to show you my validation as well. For the create staff list, right, we have a create staff, add staff. So we have using and very important thing, because this application logic say that we have to create a staff with the default of performance is to store 2-3 in the beginning. So I tested it with my API in the Postman, it's successfully. And then but when we use it in the client, I have an error and I have to debug it in order to get initial staff default the performance 2-3. So a staff, so when a user getting the staff, I assign the set performance 2-3 during the get, so that when using the return, right, it bypass it. And also check using the binding resource has error or not. Okay. And one more thing is important that I haven't covered, I think it's like create hotel, because they say that create hotel have to have the correct format, like this pattern with one capital and another thing. So now I use it with the we call reverse pattern, and my reverse pattern is implemented correctly. Sorry. So let's try it. So if right now I doesn't have it, just 5 character, they say that does not match, rejected value, fewer, invalid format, right? Even though if I have it 8 but with all capital, it also does not match. And it has to be something like this. And it's like the hotel is already exists, right? So let's do it with a naming, a good naming one. And now it's valid on back end, and similarly on the front end, similarly on the front end, so we can do it like validation as well, like if it's had the right, like binding resource, it say that format require, right? So and even though if someone try to bypass my implementation, like just remove the min one and they set it to 0, it's also must be rated in 1. So both server side and client side validation, like a good hotel. So it will have the the star rating number 4, and we can save it. Oh, it say already exists. So I have to do something like new and start number 5. And now on the client, I think I'm very thankful for my partner for her contribution for what she put through on enhance the client with the UI and the styling. And I show you that validation for adding hotel and adding staff with binding resort annotation. Now we're moving on. This the list of the hotel, the list of the staff, and for staff right now, new staff doesn't have the hotel rate. I cannot assign the hotel with 3-star. There's many hotel, so only the hotel with the 4-star or higher. So right now, if they try to bypass the server, like they change the value of this one to the one with a good hotel, such as right, it doesn't matter, but it has the higher performance, and then it's also cause an error like mismatch performance. So only 3-star. So because she has the 5-star hotel, also only the hotel with the 4-star or 5-star is added. So this one has the 4-star hotel. And if so earlier you don't see the assign button in here, right? So if I go to a staff detail, like something new staff doesn't have the unassign button. So after they check it, if the staff with the assign, they can unassign it, and it's render the successful message. And or if I do it, I have the hotel, right? And then now for performance, if I added the performance from 5-star like to 4-star, nothing happened, right? She still have the hotel to work because 5-star and 4-star is the same performance thing. And if I remove change the performance from rating from 4-star to 3, the hotel will be unassigned to the staff. And because we're using the JSON format for the response, so it will check if the required update or not and render the message. So right now I submitted. I say that performance successfully updated. Hotel has been removed from the staff due to mismatch performance. Please assign new hotel according to the new rating. So I think it's match the requirement for this assignment. So now I can go assign the hotel with the 3-star, right? Like earlier, you don't see this hotel like 3-star, and we can also delete the staff. So just do something new, like cleaning, remove the staff, and I think that this. All right, I think there's one thing that is right to let you know that there's many ways we can use for this one. Even though I implemented the high rate or low rate hotel APIs, but my partner, she has different technique to do that. I think it's easier to use this one. So in the client source Java, I'm going to tell you that another way to do that, like my assign hotel. When they do assign hotel, my this another like time leave. It just makes sure that the staff with performance 4-star will display hotel 4-star only, and staff with the lower performance, so it just display it. So another way to solve the problem, right? Don't be constrained or limited to a certain way. And I think that I cover all the requirements. Let's say that I have to use at least one put, right, API or one post API for this assignment, and I already covered that for this one, and cover the security, the Spring Boot in other video. And I think that's it. Thank you. Bye.